we're going to an underrated village where we found something that you wouldn't expect. Along the way, we're also going to tell you 5 interesting things about Czech Republic which you don't normally or wouldn't normally expect, or wouldn't normally be listed on all these mainstream media touristic outlets. Czech is not an easy language. Yes, we're going to start with one of the first points that we're trying to tell you. Tell me something about Czech.
Well,
the Czech language.
The Czech language definitely not easy, even on the hearing, to pick up, because they have these sentences where you can't get what they say.
Something like that. The R has got like this little sign on it, and it's like a j, and then you have to put r in front of it. It's like a rj, but you have to say it like kuzici. That's chicken, by the way. Even if I don't even know that I said it correctly.
For example, if you want to say a fresh bread, it's like čerstvý chléb.
Okay, I think we've proven the point as to why this is not such an easy language. Look, I come from a different language tree, which is Germanic, I guess. It's English. And my first language is actually something else, which I'm not going to tell you right now. We'll tell you when we have 10,000 subscribers and we do a live Q&A. And Julia is Ukrainian, and her language tree is also different, or you would expect to be closer to this language, but it almost sounds like a combination of different things. Like it sounds like there's some Russian in there, some even German sometimes in some cases. I'm not sure why. There's some Ukrainian language words in there. And then there's one funny thing that we discovered. There's one word here. If you say it fast enough, it sounds like a very bad Ukrainian word. And what is that word in Czech?
Sedm.
And what does sedm mean in Czech?
It means 7.
7. But in Ukrainian, there's another word that sounds very similar. And what's that?
Serun.
And what does serun mean? It means... What are you doing?
I love the snow.
You love the snow? What do you like to do with the snow?
With my skateboarding will be here.
You don't have a skateboard, you mean your sled?
My sled can be over here when I rub it.
Okay. Yay.
Surprising fact number 2. When you hear about Czech Republic, what comes into your mind? Immediately Prague, but it's so much more. Here's the mountains, here's the caves, here's like the bunkers. This country full of real treasures.
As Julia just mentioned, everyone just thinks of Prague, just like everyone thinks of Amsterdam when they think of Netherlands, which isn't not the case. It's just so much more. Or when people think of Europe, they think of Amsterdam. That's also not the case. So if you come to Czech Republic, there are so many extra cities outside of Prague, and not just cities, the other touristic ones, little towns and villages, and you know, where maybe only Czech people go, or maybe Eastern Europeans, like Polish. One of our videos, The Hidden Lake, which you can find here, that is a place where most Czech tourists and Polish tourists go, and not really Western tourists. And then some of the places that we've shown you, like the bunkers, the mountains, you know, the playgrounds in the mountains, all these different places. There's just so much more to Czech Republic than Prague. I'm not discounting Prague. Prague is a fantastic place, but if you're someone like us that don't always just want to get stuck in the city, love to go there when you want to, then you know, explore the rest of Czech Republic. Hayley, what do you think is the third interesting thing about Czech Republic?
Because it's beautiful.
Okay, we all know it's beautiful, but the third thing is...
The interesting thing is actually,
That's what I said.
it's so many reindeers on the field that you can't even imagine. Sometimes when we at home we wake up and we see a reindeer right behind the fence, just like chilling, doing the...
And this is
reindeer
not just
thing.
because we're in the countryside, actually.
Yeah,
I want
just they are throughout the fields. Now you can see them, especially in the winter time. They all coming out of the forests, and they just on the fields chilling.
So we've been obviously all throughout Europe, and you know, urban, suburban, rural areas, and Czech Republic for some reason has such a high density of or population of deers that wait, which way are we going? That way or that way?
That way.
Okay, you're on record. If we end up lost, it's your fault. Anyway, going back to the reindeers or the deers, we haven't actually seen so many in any other country that we've driven through, right next to the road or close to cities or even in some city areas. So good job, Czech Republic. And the fourth interesting thing is that Czech Republic has one of the highest or maybe the highest concentration of castles in Europe. So everywhere you go here, you'll find a whole range of different types of castles from different eras, even for sale for sometimes affordable prices, but we'll get to that in the next point. What do you think about that, darling?
In the Prague, there's the biggest castle in Europe. This is the castle. We've been there a few times, not necessarily walking, but the castle grounds, it's huge. This is definitely to go and see.
Yeah, it's actually a fact that it is the biggest castle of its kind
In Europe.
in Europe. So I don't know quite how to translate this, but the little place that we're going to go to is actually a bit of a hidden lake. I know we did another hidden lake, but this is one that is just in a bulk standard village or close to one. Something that you would definitely not expect, something only the locals know of. And this is the Ivanské Jezero. As you can see over there, some very old photos about it. The fifth thing, which will be maybe not so positive, is the fact that housing in Czech Republic, if you consider Central and Eastern Europe versus Western Europe, is actually ridiculously expensive. With the inflation at a 13-year high and everything that's going on now, I guess it's happening in a lot of other countries too, but Czech Republic, you know, we'd expect things to be slightly cheaper. I remember coming here, I don't know, 6 years ago in Prague, and I thought things were so cheap, apartments and everything. And now, 5-6 years later, it's hardly affordable. With some housing, you know, basic housing in villages that are falling apart, 3-4 bedroom, going for, I don't know, 300,000 euros. So Czech Republic, I think you can do better there. The reason why I said is because when I guess when you're in a country where the average salary is way lower than a country, I don't know, like Netherlands, and the housing is even more expensive, that means it's really unaffordable for people. And you really got to think, why is that? Maybe it's because of rich outside investors who comes in and buys the properties as part of companies or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, something is definitely a bit fishy about the prices here. We have another interesting thing about Czech Republic for you. Well, something that's a little bit, that might annoy Czech people when it is said. And what is that?
Many people call Czech Republic Czechoslovakia still, but it's actually Czech Republic.
While the Slovakian people are very nice people and they are really good neighbors and friends with the Czech people, the Slovakian people prefer to be called Slovakia, and the Czech Republican people like to be called Czech Republic. Something else that's interesting is that there's a close connection to filmmaking in Czech Republic as well, with quite a lot of big titles being filmed here in Czech Republic. Like, for example,
Mission Impossible was shot in Czech Republic, and actually a favorite movie, James Bond, Casino Royale, was shot in Karlovy Vary.
with some latest Netflix titles also shot here.
Carnival Row, I think.
Carnival Row and a few others. But look, at the end of the day, maybe not everything is shot here for the entire movie, but quite a lot of it is. And here we are. Feast your eyes.
Ivansky Jezero.
Ivansky Jezero. Maybe we're not saying it correctly, but so here is the kind of dammed lake. Saying dammed because we are walking on the wall here, and then the flow of water is controlled through there, that way. I think they do something with this wheel as well, I'm not sure. If you're an expert of how these things work, then let us know in the comments. But it's just a beautiful little place for peace and quiet. And there's a little I don't know, boat or lake house.
And there's a duck island.
And that, well, the locals, I'm sure, know that as the island where the ducks go and when they have not migrated, go and chill.
There is a keeper of the lake.
The keeper of the lake, according to my wife. I'm not sure if that's the actual name, but something like that. And then there is a very beautiful, picturesque wooden walkway that people can walk on right next to the lake. What is this statue called?
Vodnik, I think.
Vodnik?
I think so.
Where do you see that?
Something written there. Vodnika, you see? Vodnik, that's the dude.
Okay. I think
Yeah, Vodnik.
Oba Vodnici or something.
No,
No?
Vodnik, it means at this guy's place.
Where do you see that?
In the beginning. There in the picture, Vodnik.
Ah, Vodnika. It almost sounds like someone for the water or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing about Czech Republic, and by the way, we are recording now off my wife's phone because
Our battery died.
the amazing GoPro's battery didn't last so long. We have multiple ones, but anyway, maybe it's just not dealing so well with the cold. I don't know, it should be. Škoda. Škoda is a car manufacturer here in Czech Republic, owned by the Volkswagen Group, I believe. And Škoda means something funny. What does Škoda mean?
It means damage.
So everyone's driving around with damage. Anyway, they must have a really good reason or a funny sense of humor why it's called that. But from all of us here at, what's this place called?
Ivansky Jezero.
We would like to say goodbye and leave you with one last thing. This whole video proves one of the facts that there's so much more outside of Prague.
And we're so happy.
What?
We're so happy.
Yeah, we're so happy.